Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. The comment appeared at 11:47 p.m., quietly tucked beneath a flood of heart emojis and casual compliments. Most people scrolled past it without a second thought, but for those who knew how to read between the lines, it felt like a pebble dropped into still water, small yet powerful enough to send ripples everywhere. Ruth Langsford sat on the edge of her sofa, phone glowing softly in the dim living room. The house was quiet in that way only familiar spaces could be. Too quiet, really. She reread the post she had shared earlier, a simple photograph of a moonlit sky, captioned, "Sometimes silence tells the whole story." Vague, safe, or so it seemed. Then she saw the comment she'd typed moments later, almost without thinking. Growth means knowing when to let go. She hadn't tagged anyone, she hadn't explained, and yet within minutes, speculation ignited like dry grass catching flame. For decades, Ruth Langsford and Eamonn Holmes had been more than just television's golden couple. They were routine, comfort, familiarity, tea in the morning, laughter between takes, shared glances that audiences trusted. Their relationship felt unshakable because it had been built in public, brick by brick. But lately, the cracks had been impossible to ignore. Ruth didn't plan for that comment to change anything. In truth, it was meant for herself, a reminder, a quiet affirmation after months, years of holding space for someone else's storms. She had learned the hard way that love didn't always mean staying. Sometimes love meant stepping back before you disappeared entirely. Across town, Eamonn Holmes stared at his own phone, jaw tight. He'd seen the comment too, of course he had. People had already started sending screenshots, asking if he was okay, if he'd seen what Ruth wrote. The words sat heavier than any headline ever had. Growth means knowing when to let go. He replayed conversations in his head, ones that ended too quickly, apologies that came too late, silences that grew longer than the words. He wondered if he had mistaken familiarity for security, if he had assumed she'd always be there, steady and smiling, while he carried the weight of his own frustrations. By morning, entertainment columns were buzzing. Analysts dissected the sentence as if it were a coded message. Was it about independence, closure, a new chapter? Ruth remained silent, choosing not to clarify. That silence spoke louder than denial ever could. Friends noticed a shift almost immediately. Ruth seemed lighter, still thoughtful, but no longer burdened. She walked into meetings with her shoulders back, her laughter genuine rather than automatic. It wasn't happiness exactly, it was relief. For Eamonn, the comment became a mirror he couldn't look away from. It forced him to confront truths he'd avoided, that love requires listening, not just being heard, that partnership means evolving together, not standing still while the other grows alone. Weeks passed. The comment faded from trending lists, replaced by newer scandals, louder stories. But for Ruth and Eamonn, everything had already changed. Not because of the public reaction, not because of the headlines, but because one honest sentence typed late at night finally said what years of conversation hadn't. Sometimes it only takes one comment to change everything.